Okay, guys, thanks a million for coming today to the meeting to do the final review for the clean-up operation for the Women's Mini Marathon. Um, Thank you to Killian Sweeney, who's our head of operations, and who's kindly agreed to be our note taker today. And thank you to Chris Joy, who is our project consultant, for attending. As Chris, I know you have quite a full schedule at the minute, so thanks for coming.
No problem.
No worries. As we know, our company has been chosen to do the clean-up operation after the Women's Mini Marathon this year. We're delighted to have been appointed it. So up to now, there have been 40,000 registered runners for this race. So the event organisers are expecting a crowd of around 100,000 people next Monday in Dublin city centre. So that's a lot of rubbish for us to take care of. So I just wanted to call the final review meeting so that we could just literally go back through everything and make sure we have everything in hand. So during the last meeting, we identified the problems. I know that Killian and I tasked you with listing these and putting them in priority for us. So when you get it, would you mind running through those for us now, please?
Sure. Yeah. We've quite a challenge on our hands with this project, as we know, and yeah, I have here the minutes and the action items from the last meeting. So just related to that, a few of the points here. So the high volume of waste that's going to be generated by the large crowd you mentioned of about 100,000 people is going to mean really the following challenges are going to be here for us. First up is the overflow of public bins. That will be the case. Waste on the sides of streets from spectators. I would imagine and guess that there'll be quite a bit of waste accumulated over a number of hours by 100,000 people. The large amount of accumulated waste at the finish line. So, you know, those tinfoil sheets and everything else the competitors have and all that type of stuff. That's going to accumulate to be quite a volume. So that's some of the waste that we're going to encounter. Other challenges we have would be the waste that's generated by the food and the drink vendors at the finish line in particular, and also the fact that it is a long race. It's 10k long, so it's a long route, and we'll have quite a bit of an area to cover. So there'll be a lot of challenges within those, but those are the priority challenges I think we have.
Definitely. Thanks very much, Killian. Did anyone else think of anything that we may have overlooked in the last meeting, or?
Yeah, I was just thinking about water stations along the route, and there's going to be a lot of extra drink cups and waste around these areas, so we might need to think of some way to handle this.
Okay, good. That's a great point, Chris. I hadn't thought of those at all. Killian, can you make a note of that we'll actually have to appoint some extra people to those stations? And can you also task yourself with finding out how many water stations there are on the route, please?
Okay, I'll do that for you. So.
Okay, so let's move over to our stakeholder and our stakeholder analysis then. I know we identified them in the last meeting, but I want to just go back over them again. Chris, I think I asked you, wasn't it, to have a look at those for me? Would you mind running through them to remind us all? And
not all, Emma.
Thanks.
Yeah. Firstly, of course, we have the event organisers. We have the local residents in the area along as well. Ourselves,
okay.
Damaging to our reputation and may affect us winning future business. We've the race participants, event sponsors, and the relevant charities. I've attached an affinity map to the back of the agenda so you can see the relationship between the various stakeholders.
Oh, brilliant. That's great, actually. Thanks. I'll have a look at that then. Thanks, Chris. So, guys, we set out the goals in the last meeting, but I do think we need to run through them again and be clear on what each of our roles are for this operation. Obviously, our number one goal is to restore the city back to its pre-race condition. I'd be hoping maybe to get a little bit cleaner than that, but that's at the minimum is the pre-race condition. So I suppose we set out the goals, and I just want to call them out to you again, so just to refresh it, okay? So we want all the rubbish to be removed from the starting point. We want to minimise any inconvenience to the local residents and the local businesses. They shouldn't be inconvenienced by this at all. Obviously, the clean-up operation has to be completed within 2 hours of the race finishing. I've agreed this with the event organisers, so we're on a time scale. All the waste must be disposed of in the correct manner. I know that we'll get into that in a while, but we've liaised with Dublin City Council on that, so we're clear on that. And then we need to ensure that there's no negative publicity associated with the race as a result of an inadequate clean-up, because in this case, it's bad publicity will affect us greatly. And then, of course, we're going to have our another goal is to have the race debrief with all the team leaders and supervisors after the race, after the clean-up operation. So there are goals. So I'm just going to run through then the plan, and please interrupt me now if you need to add anything. Okay?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay. So our key priority is to gather and dispose of the waste quickly and efficiently. The staff have been broken into 12 teams. So we have a dedicated team at the start line, a dedicated team at the finish line, and they have a supervisor of those. Then we'll have them broken up along the route. The Dublin Boy Scouts have also volunteered to help us with the clean-up. So we have 30 volunteers that day for the Dublin Boy Scouts coming to help, and I've put 3 members of each onto each of the teams. Then City Council have indicated to us that they're going to provide the appropriate sacks, bins and picker-uppers, and the Scout group will do a final sweep-up then after the cleaning has been done. Killian, have you briefed the teams on the correct waste disposal in accordance with Dublin City Council guidelines?
Yeah, just to kind of bring you up to date on this. So what we've done is we've met up in on 2 occasions in the last while, and everything's in place. So I've actually also arranged for high-vis vests to be printed for the Boy Scouts with, volunteer on the back of it, so they're easily identifiable on the day.
Oh, thanks for that. They'll be delighted with that. That's good thinking. That's great. Thanks for that. So our timeline will operate at 11 a.m. and then finish at 8 p.m. that night. The race organisers are saying that they expect the last person to cross the finish line at 6 p.m. The race is starting at 2, but there are people walking for the charity as well, so you have to allow them 4 hours to complete the route. Each team then are going to have 2 15-minute breaks and a 30-minute long break. Now, I know that we did up a break schedule and sent it out to all the supervisors. So, Chris, can you liaise with the supervisors on the day and ensure that everyone gets their breaks in accordance with this schedule, please?
Yeah, no problem at all, Emma.
Yeah, can you contact each of the supervisors individually just so that, just to make sure that'll be brilliant. Thanks.
Yes, no problem.
Okay, so our timeline then for the clean-up, guys, is to have the starting line 80% clear by 3 p.m. So that's an hour after the race starts. And and then we'll work our way across up the route, continuously cleaning. We're aiming to have each kilometre done within 30 minutes. So it'll run the whole way up then till 8 p.m. Killian, in the previous meeting, it has to do with trying to figure out the costs for this. Could you run through them now for us, please?
Yeah, just have them here to share with you. So just in kind of bullet point format. So first up are the labour costs. So we've got 50 staff, and we're talking about 9 hours, and it's on the standard rate. So that's 450 man-hours in total, and we've agreed a rate of €20 per hour with the race organisers. Okay. The second thing that we have on the list is road sweeper. So we've managed to get hold of 2 road sweepers for 2 hours after the race is finished, and we're hiring those out at a cost of €400 an hour. Right. We then had a meeting with the race organisers regarding the use of other cleaning equipment, and the associated cost with that is €1,000. Okay. We also have pickup trucks along the route, which is designed to take the waste from the recycling plant and the dump and so on. So there's a charge there, and the charge is as follows. It's of €600 per journey, and that's been all agreed and set in place ahead of the event.
Okay, because we don't know how, I suppose, how many journeys it's going to take. So yeah, per journey, yeah, that was great. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, and then lastly, or just regarding the staff and the volunteers. So we all thought it was a great idea that we would have food coupons in place, the value which are €15 per person. So there's 50 staff, there's 30 volunteers, so total cost related to that would be €1,200.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, that's great. Thanks for that, Kenny.
Okay.
Okay. Chris, can you run through then the worst case scenarios? I know I tasked you with that in the last meeting, please. Did you get a chance to see how we might combat these?
Absolutely, yeah. So I went through them, I did a bit of a brainstorm. The first one is vehicle breakdown on the day. The contingency plan there is that we have backup trucks if we need them. We have backup vehicles there. Staff shortages due to illness or emergencies. For this, the solution is to have 15 staff members on call for the day.
Oh, brilliant.
Weather, unprecedented weather, adverse weather. We have rain gear provided for all the staff and volunteers in case of bad weather. Rubbish which is not collected within the agreed timescale. We have a midpoint review and extra staff on call that can be drafted in if we need them.
Okay, brilliant. So the staff are going to be on call from that morning then up until we do the midpoint review, is it? And then they can go off call.
That's right. From there, once we've done the midpoint review, we'll know. We can accurately gauge whether we need the staff or not for any longer.
Oh, great thinking. Thanks, Chris.
No problem at all.
Okay, so that was really good work, guys. That was really good work. Thanks a million. I suppose best of luck with your tasks that are coming up. I suppose what I would like ideally is for us to meet back here maybe on Wednesday morning after the race. I'd like to, while we're still in the thick of it, I'd like to review our milestones and ensure that the project was completed successfully. So would that suit you both for Wednesday morning?
Yes, absolutely.
That's a good time. Yeah.
Wednesday the 3rd, we'll say, at maybe 11. Would that suit?
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Great. I'll get an email out to you anyway just to log that one in. For the milestone review then, Chris, can you have the information from the team debrief with the supervisors?
I can, absolutely. I'll draft that up and have it for you as soon as possible.
Okay. Cillian, then if I could just maybe get you to do the final costing so that we can review our budget versus our actual cost.
Yeah, no problem whatsoever.
Brilliant, thanks so much. I'm going to have a meeting with the event organisers on Tuesday just to get their feedback and see how they're feeling, and I'll have my review done on that. So when we have it all together, then we can sit down and talk about it properly. Lads, just bear in mind, I actually included a risk assessment at the back of the agenda, just for you to have a look at, make yourself familiar with it, and I'll be on my mobile from here till 9 o'clock Monday night, so if you need anything, just get back in contact with me.
Okay.
Is that alright?
Yep.
Okay,
that's
guys.
Great. Thanks, Emma.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Emma.
No bother. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.